Headers and footers can add a finishing touch to your printed documents. In this quick tip, I show you how you can position those headers and footers relative to the edges of the paper. In another video, I went into a deep dive on how to create and use headers and footers. In this quick tip, though, I want to focus on how you can position the header and footer. You can see that I have a document on the screen here. If I scroll down through this document just a bit, you can see that I have a header at the top of the pages within the document. To position the header or footer, all you need to do is make sure that you place the insertion point in the document section whose header or footer you want to adjust. If your document has only a single section, as this document does, then you can position the insertion pointer anywhere in the document. On the Layout tab of the ribbon, click the icon at the bottom right of the Page Setup section. That displays the Page Setup dialog box. If you jump over to the Layout tab of that dialog box, you can see that there are controls that allow you to specify the position of both the header and the footer. The top control here controls the positioning of the header, and the bottom one controls the positioning of the footer. Now, the values that you put in here are calculated from the edge of the paper to either the top of the text in the header or to the bottom of the text in the footer. In other words, let's say that you change the header to be 0.75 inches or 0.8 inches. That means that the top of the letters within the header will be 0.8 of an inch from the edge of the paper, the top edge of the paper. And the same thing is to be said about the footer, except you're measuring from the bottom edge of the letters in the footer. Now, there is one thing to note here. If the value that you enter into these controls is larger than the margin that you've allowed at the top or bottom of your page, then Word will adjust the margins so that the header and footer can appear where you specify. As an example, I know that in this document that the margins all the way around on each page are set to be 1 inch. So if I take my header and I make my header, we'll say 1.2 inches, then that's greater than what the top margin is for this document. However, when I click on OK, then what Word does is to readjust everything in the document to push it down so that that header can appear there. If I want to change that so that that doesn't occur, then all I have to do is go back to that dialog box, to the Layout tab of that dialog box, and change that setting so that it is positioned where I actually want that header to appear. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and set it back to 0.5 inches. If I want to, I can say Apply To down here, and I can apply it to just this section, or I can apply it to the whole document. Either way, it'll work just fine. And then we say OK, and it's been applied to the document, and you can see that our header is positioned where I wanted it to be, and it's within the margin that I've set for the top of that page. I hope that you found this quick tip helpful. If you did, well, you might want to consider signing up for my Word Tips newsletter. Every weekly issue is free, and it includes great tips that you can put to work right away. Information is in the notes just below this video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.